A velociraptor in a trench coat shooting a blaster. I never thought we'd see this in Star Wars.
That's fair. It's like blue.
That's what I have in my notes.
Oh, really?
I put Raptor Blue.
Bro. I haven't even seen those movies, but... Oh, now there's 4 people in here.
Huh?
There's people in here now. Yellow Snow, hello there.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Kenobi-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with Obi-Wan Kenobi series, episode 2, called Part 2.
Part 2.
Whatever. Hopefully we'll get some actual titles moving forward.
You think? I
nice.
feel like we're not going to.
That'd be so lame.
I
don't know. I just get excited about the titles. But whatever.
That's fair.
But yes. So we're back. Last night we did the breakdown of the first episode without watching the second episode. And now we are here with the second episode doing another breakdown. So
some of our predictions were right.
Yes. So we'll get into that. But yeah, so since we're just kind of just picking up where we left off last night, we might as well.
Yeah, I guess it's not like we haven't seen each other in
it's been
less than 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours. And then right after this, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to do the Andor teaser trailer breakdown too. So if you're listening to this, the Andor trailer podcast episode should be up right after that too. So get excited for that. Stay tuned.
Lots of content.
Lots of content this weekend. All right. Well, first episode we both absolutely loved. So Drew, what is your overall thoughts of part 2?
Part 2, I liked it way better than even part 1.
Really?
I thought it was amazing.
Really?
The whole thing was so dope. I loved it. I love the whole interaction with Leia. I may or may not have cried during that interaction scene towards the end. I thought it was amazing. And then there's like one big thing that kind of messes up canon a little bit. And we'll get into that. But besides that, I love this episode. I absolutely loved everything about it.
Interesting.
What, did you not?
I kind of did not like it at all.
What?
Not at all. I'm saying it was okay. It was a very short episode. Like after you take the credits off the end and the intro,
yeah,
it was like a 35 minute episode. And it felt so long to me. It just dragged on for me. Because it was the same stuff over and over again. Like it was just him running through a crowd with Leia, and they're both arguing.
Dude, it was so good.
I don't know.
Was so good.
I loved Leia in the first episode, and then I was like, okay, she's getting kind of annoying.
What? Dude, I love her even more.
I get she's kidnapped and she doesn't know who to trust.
Dude, yeah.
But I'm like, come on.
And I love how they highlighted Obi-Wan is so separated from the Force. And we know that for a fact now. Because it took so much for him to catch her. Like, it took so much energy for him. And just the development of Obi-Wan as a character was super good. The development of, like, his mind process and how he's thinking. It's so well done. I love this episode. Like, I watched it like 3 times today. Like, I love this episode. So,
okay. Now I wonder what Andrew thinks, because he's usually like the tiebreaker.
True.
But I don't know. Like I said, it was just very repetitive for me. And it was like, I don't know. It felt really long. Usually those 35-minute episodes, they are
What? But
paced well, and they seem like it was a good timing for what they had. But it just seems like it was an hour-long episode, and
it was 42. But I was okay with that. And then the ending, bro.
well, the ending's fine. But like,
I literally cannot wait
I
for the
know
next
you
episode.
like one scene is what you determine how good the episode is. Like, if the one scene is good, the whole episode's like a 10 out of 10. Like,
No,
yeah,
that's
you're
not
always
true.
like that, Drew. I just don't think that the ending, uh, as good as it was, it didn't it didn't it wasn't enough to like make the episode better.
I love the concept, like the whole thing.
Interesting. Well,
Like
all
I don't
right.
know.
All right. Well, we might as well just go scene by scene now. Um, so he arrives on Dayu, which we expected that he was going to get
Mhm.
there. And he lands, and immediately he finds out that ships, like tracking things, are all blocked on the planet, so you can't send signals out, or signals can't come in, which is interesting that they could do that. Like, obviously, it's supposed to be like a crime area, and spice is dealt very seemingly publicly in a sense, I guess.
Mhm.
And a lot of crime going on. We saw like fights in the background, and
Well, and they're talking about how like once you land on the planet, you don't really leave that planet. Like you kind of get stuck, and I think that a lot of that has to do with
which
the
didn't make sense
addiction.
because they had a port going in and out, and like there was like, hey, you got to stop all
Well,
the things. Like,
I think she was implying for someone to get stolen, as in like they become a slave or their addiction of the spice that's going on in that planet. They don't ever leave because, and
right,
I think in her perspective, that lady, it was because that's probably what happened to her.
the girl.
Yeah, that
Well, that's what
girl.
she said. Like,
Yeah, so I think that's the her perspective, and yeah, of course they leave. Like people leave in and out all the time, but it's more the fact that like in your circumstance, like people don't really leave once they're captured. You know, like I think it's
right.
kind of implying that she was like potentially like captured for slavery. Maybe that was her mindset. You know, like once you're stuck here, like it's hard for you to leave.
I don't know. Well, she's selling spice, so
Hmm.
obviously she works for someone, and she's just a kid basically. And it was interesting that she gave away
A lot of spice.
a free thing of spice, but I guess it's an investment because get him hooked, and then you got a customer for life, basically.
Yep.
So I
I mean
guess she's allowed
they
to do
kind
that,
they kind of do that
but don't
in
do drugs,
general.
kids.
Nope. Don't do spice.
Um, nope, not that either. But when he realizes, when Obi-Wan realizes that there's no signals on the planet, and he's kind of like he can't track a ship and all that jazz, he's like, if there's any time you're gonna help me, Qui-Gon, this is the time.
Hmm.
So I think, because like last episode we talked about how we wondered if he had training with communing with Qui-Gon and all that jazz, and like what,
Hmm.
like whether he started it, finished it, had not, whatever. Like, I think now I feel like he did complete all that training like right away, early on, and then something happened and he lost faith, and that's why he cut himself off. But
I don't. I think he cut himself off from the force.
well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying I think he had the training at first, because
Mm.
if he's going to be continually asking to commune with
I
him,
think he tried and it didn't work, and that's him begging for Qui Gon's help. Because I think
mm,
like it wouldn't make sense that he got it to work and then he would stop it and then keep asking again. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, but he just simply didn't use the force because he doesn't want to bring attention to himself. That's why he hasn't used it. So it's not
But
like
that's why he never started it.
he did that. That's so I think, yeah. But here's the thing: I don't know. If there's been 10 years, and we find out that he knows a lot of backstory about Inquisitors, because he says later on that
Hmm.
most of them are former Jedi turned to the dark side.
Yes.
Like,
which
somehow he learned that from how he learned that. Like, I don't know, because like they weren't there when he left.
Yeah, I wonder if he just
originally.
learned that from just being around like Tatooine conversations.
I don't know. I feel like this is the first time
I don't think it's the first time.
Inquisitors came to Tatooine.
No, because even when they asked the crowd, like, "Do you guys know who we are?" You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like
right.
everyone on Tatooine knew what an Inquisitor was, and because it is not an Empire like rated place, it's not like the Empire has like a foothold on Tatooine. So somehow they would have to know. So I think,
Well, people know Leia never seen a Jedi, but she knew who.
well, that's different
What do you mean it's different? If you can
because
still
she's
hear rumors and stuff about these.
That's what I mean.
If I'm saying that's okay, but we were
I think we're
saying
saying the same thing.
I said they're probably never on Tatooine before this
Oh,
episode
I mean,
1.
yeah, maybe they've never
And
been
so
on Tatooine,
I
but
want to. But the thing is, how do you learn that Inquisitors were former Jedi, or most of them were former Jedi? Like, I want to know how Obi-Wan learned that. So, like, I wonder if he has left Tatooine before, if
he's never left Tatooine. I think he's heard it from people like at like a cantina or just around town or people that he works with. They have left Tatooine, and they've probably talked about an Inquisitor here or there or something like that. Because I mean, Tatooine is the whole place is a bunch of scum and villainy. Like that's
Yeah.
so like that people are escaping and running away from the Empire have also landed on Tatooine, and he's probably just heard rumors of these Inquisitors. And I mean, we don't know. Maybe he's had talk with what's his name, Leia's dad. We know that he has a communication device. So we don't know if he's
Talking
like,
about Bale?
yeah. So we don't know. Maybe Bell has called him and gave him like updates, like, hey, just so you know, because the Emperor is actually sending out these people looking for, maybe he gave him some updates to like. So maybe you're right. Maybe he was connected to the Force, and then Bell gave him a warning about these Jedi hunters that were former Jedi that could be coming after you. So maybe you should hide from the Force.
Yeah.
Like that's a possibility.
I think that's more likely because
I feel like Bell would probably give him a heads up, like, hey, just so you know, these boys are out here hunting people down.
Right.
And it's not like Yoda, where Yoda's like in a planet. Freaking no one is gonna find him. Where you know what I mean? It's like a little different. Like Tatooine, like people still go to Tatooine.
But somehow, in order for Obi-Wan to learn how to commune with Qui-Gon and learn,
he has to commune with Yoda.
He has to commune with Yoda. So, like, we know that Yoda can, like, project him, speak to people across the galaxy. Like,
yeah, I mean,
but
we
that
know
was
from
also
the High Republic.
But that was also in the Jedi Temple on Lothal, so that's kind of different.
Yeah, that's true.
But also, Dagobah is like super strong with the Force, so I guess Yoda could be amplified. But I don't know. We'll never know. Well, we might know.
Well, we actually might know.
Anyway, as he's asking for Qui-Gon's help, we have a big surprise. A clone trooper is a beggar.
That was so amazing.
Which I'm not surprised that we saw Tamora Morrison. I just thought we were going to see him in a different.
Oh, I don't think this is the last time we're going to see him.
I thought we were going to see him as Cody or some other leftover clone troopers that are still around working with the Empire. So when I first saw him, like, I immediately thought he was Hauser from Bad Batch. But because the 501st is the blue armor, but Hauser was like a teal, and like it was dark. It was dark, and there was like lights flashing on his armor. And I couldn't tell if it was. It seemed like it could be the light teal, or like the teal color that Hauser was, because like
I don't know. On my screen, it was definitely the 501st.
and then like the stripe down, I guess, is the 501st, like the
Yeah.
shape of it. But
Mm-hmm.
like I don't understand why. It begs the question of like how the biochip works now, because I just assumed that the biochip enables a clone to just automatically know if an individual is a Jedi. And so like I'm surprised. So that's why I thought, okay, he didn't attack Obi-Wan when he saw him. So like maybe it's Hauser, because we know Hauser seems to be immune to the effects of the biochip.
Oh, someone in the chat saying that Hauser's helmet is a different painting than that helmet.
Wow. He's a scrub. So like he could have had random armor, but I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure it's just a 501st. No, I think once I think maybe, but I think once the Empire got rid of the clones, because at this point within the Empire, uh, Palpatine doesn't care about clones or good fighters. He just wants the biggest army ever, and that's why at this point he's taking on any and whatever recruit. It doesn't matter how like good they are at fighting. He just wants the more people the better, because then that's the more places he's controlling essentially.
Well, right, but I'm still my question is still why doesn't
Because I think maybe he turned it like it's not
oh
inactive.
yeah, okay, really not gonna turn it off like
Well, we don't know because he's not work. They're not working for him.
well yeah, but if you
Or
still
maybe at a
keep it
certain age,
on, it's still free.
maybe at a certain age they don't work anyways.
It's like free,
Free
like
killers.
free
I
killers that like
I
you don't
think
have to
at a
take care of
certain
it anymore.
point, and we are assuming that this person was sober and not on spice. You know what I mean?
Possibly,
I'm pretty sure this person was already drugged
but
up
if
because he didn't recognize 501st. He probably would have recognized Obi-Wan.
you should have,
So that's why I think he was probably
like
also on drugs.
that's the problem. Like even though Obi-Wan worked with a different battalion or whatever the term is,
Yeah, but I mean, yeah,
like he still should have recognized Obi-Wan because he was
yeah,
a council member and he was Anakin's master / best friend.
yeah,
Like I don't know. I just thought it was weird
yeah.
that
He
he
just is like
didn't react or attack,
he is
or
probably on spice.
if he's like drunk or on spice or something, then maybe that just dulls the effects of the biochip if it's still working, or maybe it just
Yeah.
degrades over time.
Well, the chat saying like maybe the trip defects over time, like
Right.
degrades, stops working, glitches. I mean,
Possibly.
because it's 10 years later after technically. Because if that was the case, then why would they need inquisitors if they have all these clones that can still find them? You know what I mean? Like
Well,
it seems like maybe they're not working.
the plan from the beginning was to just use them for Order 66 and then get rid of them. Like, because in
Yeah.
Bad Batch, they started, was it War Mantle was the name of the thing of replacing the clones.
Mm-hmm.
And the clones were a link to Palpatine's deception. So he wanted to get rid of the clones to get, get burn bridges behind him so no one would track things back to Palpatine and
Mm-hmm.
his conspiracies and all that
Yeah.
jazz.
At this point, there's no clones in the Empire anymore.
So I don't know. And the thing is, that guy you could tell he was one of the
Big.
first clones too, because he was
Yes,
old.
he was old.
And it's like that makes me
Yeah.
think like he still, even then, he still should have known Obi-Wan just
He should
because
have known. I think he was probably on spice.
like Rex is like was like the first, like I think the first batch or something. Like he's like one of the oldest. He's there from the beginning, and so if you see at the end of at Revenge of the Sith, clones would have been the oldest clones would have been 13 years old, so they would have been like 26.
Mm-hmm.
So then So 23 plus 10 years, or 13 plus 10 years is 23. So he should have been like 46 years old. So that guy was, he had some bunch of gray, but in his beard. So I don't know.
For the first like 5 seconds, I thought it was like Rex for like 5 seconds. I was like, what the heck? Is that Rex? Like he's hiding out like as like a homeless person. But no.
But if it was Rex, he would have definitely recognized Kenobi. But
well, that's like I'm saying like first second, I was like, is that Rex? Is he hiding up? Like my mind says, is he hiding out? And then he's gonna be like, I know, like it's okay, Obi-Wan, like go to this place. I know where she is, or you know what I mean? Like that's what I was thinking that was gonna happen, and then I'm like, wait, no, it's not.
it would have been so
Rex.
cool to see Rex and Kenobi working together.
Dude, I think it's not out of the possibility.
Oh, we're not gonna see him.
I mean, we don't know.
I'm willing to bet it. Here's a quarter right here. I bet you
All
a
right.
quarter we're not gonna see Rex in the Kenobi series.
I only have a penny on my desk, but I'll raise you 24 cents later.
All right. Well, anyway, we should continue on. So after this, he runs into that Spice Kid that we already talked about, the girl, and said, "Hey, once you're here, you're lost. Like you're never gonna get found again." Blah blah blah. And then another kid's like, "Oh, I know a Jedi. I can bring it to him for the right price." I was like, "Okay, is this gonna be someone we know?" Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately the next scene, I'm like, "This is weird." Like when we see this guy, I'm like, "Okay, he closes these window things."
Shades.
Like I'm like, "What? Okay, fine. I guess that's what you do. I guess." And then he's doing a Jedi mind trick over a comm. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. But then I'm like, this dialogue is really
Cheesy
cheesy and weird. And it's like very early on, I was like, this is not.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, it's either he's a really bad actor, and the dialogue is really bad, or this is like or he's lying. And then as he kept talking, I'm like, oh, he's lying. He's not a real Jedi. He's a liar. He's just scamming people. So,
Yep. So
which he
a
was
mother and her son go to him to get safe passage off the planet. So they go to a Jedi for help, and the kid is force sensitive, apparently.
allegedly probably Broom Kid's uncle.
Or Broomkid's dad. That's more likely.
Ooh.
But I don't know. So the guy's name is Haja Estri.
Mm.
I don't know. I didn't. What do you think about this character in general? Like in this scene, and then at the end when he goes and helps. What do you think of this character?
Well, in this scene, I did not like him. He kind of reminded me of Blue Guy from The Mandalorian a little bit.
There's nothing like him at all. The Mithril?
No, he didn't look like him. It's just like the way he talks, the way he acts.
Not at all. What do you mean?
I don't know. He annoyed me. Maybe that's how. I don't know. I was just like, this guy's annoying. I was like, this guy is not a real Jedi. I called it, and he wasn't. I mean, and then once he started working with Kenobi, I was like Kenobi. I was like, I don't know if I trust this dude at all. And then apparently he actually was trying to help him, but we'll get to that. But yeah, so I don't know. He didn't bother me too much because the whole point of his the whole point of his role was to make you suspicious of him, and he did a really good job as an actor to make that work. Because I instantly was like, this guy's sketchy. I don't trust this dude at all. So I don't know.
Well,
Didn't bother me.
I think that I don't know. They made it obvious that he was
Yeah.
fake. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I thought he was annoying too. Like, I don't know. He's supposed to be like the comedic relief of the episode, I guess.
I didn't laugh once.
But I'm like, I don't care. Like, I didn't really care about him, and like, I think we're gonna see him again.
Yeah, because he's like on
has,
thumbnails and he has like posters of just him.
Well, I'm saying because Kenobi and Leia are sent to people he knows, so he's part of a greater group of people that are scamming. So the next episode, Kenobi and Leia, wherever if they named the planet, I can't remember what they said, but they're gonna meet up there, and so I figured, okay, he's gonna follow them some way or another. Because which is stupid that the third sister didn't kill him at the end. Like, and speaking of that, from the teaser trailer, you thought Cad Bane was the guy in the alley confronting the third sister. That was that scene, and it was him.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
I want to talk about it. That's why I'm bringing it up. No Cad Bane yet.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense though. Now, I mean, we could now that he's a bounty.
What makes sense? No,
we could see Cad Bane. Now that they're confirmed that Kenobi's alive, they're 100% know that Kenobi's out there and alive.
Right, but only people on that planet know that he's alive.
True, that's fair.
So they can't, I guess, unless you're, because the Inquisitors were able to contact off-world. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if the Empire is the one blocking the signal. Because if they can communicate, then obviously they know how to, either unless they just have better technology that can bypass janky, poor planet drug lords and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kenobi, after the family gets sent off to leave the planet, Kenobi comes in. And right away, Kenobi knows he's fake. He's like, you got magnets in your hand for you doing your force pull, and then switches in your gloves to make the things go down. And so, but he says he'll help anyway. I was like, okay. And so I guess he just gave him kind of like some tips on like where to start looking.
Well, and I think he was like, I think he realized that Kenobi was a Jedi. So then he was like, well, no, at this point he didn't realize it. That's right.
But so I think he just gave him some tips on where to look, because I don't think we saw any discussion of like what help he was offering. So Kenobi just goes out into the crowd again, out in the streets, and sees an individual talking on a comm link or whatever, and follows him into this. What I have in my notes is a meth lab, but it's a spice lab.
It reminds a bunch of people, especially people in the chat last night, were saying, "Oh, it's like Breaking Bad episode right here."
Yeah, have you watched Breaking Bad?
I watched up to season 3 I watched up to the point where they're like at this house, and then I literally stopped because
when he was at a house. Okay,
like,
I don't.
They were at that bandit house.
I've only seen it watch the show once, so I don't remember like each season. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember, but I watched it for a while, and then I was like, this is. He wasn't even bald yet, I don't think.
But he was bald in the first season.
Oh, so yeah, it was like 3 episodes in, I think I watched.
Oh, 3 episodes in?
Yeah, 3 episodes.
Gosh.
It took too long, dude. That show's long.
What do you mean?
I know it's really good, but
you realize that forever. Each season is only like 6 episodes, right?
Yeah, but
and it's only like drags. 5 seasons.
I don't enjoy that writing style. Not to say I know it's good.
What about the live action shows we're watching now? This is 6 episodes.
No, but it's not. It's different. It's different content. What do you mean?
I don't know. Breaking Bad is still one of the best shows of all time.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I know people love it. It's just I haven't got through it.
Maybe you need to revisit it.
Drew. Yeah, I'm not saying I don't. I probably will because
I wonder if it's still on Netflix, because it was on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, maybe not, because that other show's out now.
Better Call Saul is like a prequel to that, I believe.
Yeah,
it's on Netflix. So
yeah, I think it's on Netflix.
Anyway, Kenobi. Okay, first of all, if you're doing spice cooking and stuff like that, and you're making drugs, why would it be so easy to sneak in?
Because the whole planet is just
okay, but still
stoned.
It's still so much money is in drugs. Let's let some random person on the street come in and start walking around. Like, I don't know. I felt like their security level was a little.
Well, it was low because the guy Kenobi walked by one guy and just stole his key fob.
Wow, he did set off an explosion first.
I don't know, yeah, but I mean, just saying, it was.
I don't know. Yeah. I thought it was very convenient that he was able to walk in.
He was wearing their outfit.
Well, I guess they were expecting him to show up, so maybe they just purposely let him come in.
He beat up that guy for his outfit. Because he followed that guy and he took his outfit. So
unless that was a security guard, I don't know. But
yeah,
either way, I thought it was convenient. Unless
it was
they purposely let
convenient.
him come in. Like if anyone tries to come in the next couple of days, just let him come in. But
Yeah.
I don't know. He says has some explosion to be a diversion, and then he steals the key card, whatever, from the guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then he immediately gets caught by a Zabrak and some other guy, and he tries to fight for the first time and can't. He's a little rusty, but
You know what it remind me of?
no, I don't.
Cobra Kai. Like the first,
Okay.
like how slow he is and how bad. Like you know what I
And
mean? Like
Johnny in the first
yeah,
episode,
it felt like a
when
Johnny
he
fight.
beats up a bunch of kids.
Yeah. Yeah, but it felt like that. Like even when when you flip the guy and he got stunned, like he got stabbed by the guy's head horns, and he was
Yeah.
like like it literally felt like I was watching like Cobra Kai, like with Johnny Lawrence when he was fighting those kids, and he was like, "Oh, that hurt!" Punch, like, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like he hasn't done much of anything since episode 3. Like he's spent 10 years of just watching a child from the distance.
Right.
So
But eventually he knocks out the Zabrak, and then the other guy, he asks, "Where's the girl?" Do you think he tried that was a Jedi mind trick, or do you think he just because the guy got in a
beat up.
headlock or whatever that
Yeah, I don't think it was a mind trick. At first I
no,
thought it was, but I don't think he, because it would have been like,
you don't have to do that.
no, true, but I don't, it didn't seem like
Because
it was
Rey didn't have to do that in Force Awakens; she was shackled.
true.
But so
She also
then
didn't know what she was doing.
she knew exactly what she's doing because it worked.
Well, yeah, but at first she was like, what am I doing?
Well, it's her first try.
True.
But anyway, he goes to a cell that he thinks Leia's in, and there's a decoy dummy in there. And then the kidnappers find him and grab him and say, "Man, this was really easy. I didn't think this would be so easy that you would fall for this trick." And so immediately Obi-Wan is starting to put things together. And he says, like, I don't know if he says the Inquisitor is on her way or something like that.
She said she'll be here soon
Yeah, and so
when he grabbed his lightsaber.
and then he took the spice canister that the girl gave him for free
Mm-hmm.
and smashes it on the ground and puts a mask on and then locks the door. And those guys are just high as a kite in that cell. But I don't know. I was like, okay, that seems pretty
Convenient.
That
And clever how he had the
because
face mask still.
yeah, but I'm saying it could have showed him when he went into the lab. We could see him grab that same thing off the shelf or something.
Yeah, instead of someone giving it to him.
Yeah, like they could have done that and it would have been so much like, okay, Kenobi was planning this ahead of time.
True, instead of just a conveniency.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's whatever. It's the same result, but
Yeah.
you know me, I like better
When it's
story writing.
when it's too convenient, you don't like it that much.
But he gets out and then he goes and finds a different cell that he seems to like sense her presence or something. Opens it up, walks in, and she like hits him kicks him, and then like hits
Liver
him
shot
because
or
like you
chair. It was
see
like a chair.
because you see on the ground there's things on the ground, so she's been definitely trying to like break through panels and get a weapon because there's a bunch of stuff on the ground.
Yeah, it was the chair that she was probably tied to too.
And so she tries to run away, and then he grabs her and is like, "Your dad sent me." Well, where's the army?
Yeah,
Like,
so
which is
cute.
interesting. And so, um, so they exit out, and then they switch clothes, and she sees his lightsaber. Are you a Jedi or whatever she says? And she's like, "Make me float" or something like that. And I was like, okay, like that's classic, lifting rocks make us float.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just what everyone jumps to when they go think of a Jedi. So, So after this, we see it jumps to the third sister being confronted by the Grand Inquisitor, the fifth brother, and then that fourth Inquisitor that we saw in trailers. And so,
was that the seventh sister?
No, the seventh sister is already someone we've seen in either Jedi
I don't
Fallen
remember
Order
what number
or
she
in
is.
Rebels. Like they're
Maybe
all.
the fourth sister.
I don't remember. I can never remember. I can
Chat,
remember.
what's up? What sister is that one?
Yeah, the new one. But we do learn. So the Grand Inquisitor is just angry that she kidnapped a senator's daughter.
Yep.
And without his permission, she's like, "Well, we've done worse," which was understandable. But like, he doesn't like her defiant,
She doesn't.
insubordinate
He also doesn't like
attitude.
that she came up with it too. I feel like.
And so he says that she is the least of them. Like, so she's probably the biggest failure of all the Inquisitors, the least powerful. And she just doesn't like that.
Yeah, it is a seventh sister.
Okay. And so, she said that, I was searching the Jedi archives and I saw a connection between Bail and Kenobi. Like, so like you can tell she's smart with what she's actually doing. Like, she's not as dumb as the Grand Inquisitor is treating her as. Because like it's still a great plan. Like her plan worked 100%. It's just that he got away with the spice. But she had the right idea, but he's like, all right, I'm relieving you of your duty. I will be the one that takes in Kenobi. And then I think either in this scene or a later scene, he tells the fifth brother to eliminate Kenobi if you find him, like to kill him. So he doesn't care about capturing because he doesn't care about getting favor in the eyes of, we're assuming, Vader, like the third sister wants to do. So,
yeah, it's a while out. It's like after the whole bounty went out, everything.
Yeah, so then right after this, Reva has the kidnappers send out like a bounty thing to everyone, like a big mass at everyone,
a bounty for all,
a mass text to everyone to capture.
What if we would have saw Boba?
Boba would be 26, or not 26. He'd be 23.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's doing.
It'd be cool if we could see Boba without like his old school armor.
Well, if they
definitely do not.
If they bring Boba, they need to bring the kid actor of Boba from episode 2. I forget his name.
Oh, true.
Have him play. It'll be a much younger.
Yeah, he's around. Boba. Well, he's like closer to that age.
Well, he'd probably be like 30 something now.
Yeah,
but it'd still work. Like they can make it definitely work.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see Boba. Or any bounty hunter that we recognize would be cool.
Yeah. So now with this whole signal thing, we now know that maybe the tracker thing in Mando with a bounty is new to that time, because now they don't have the ability to just have a little beeper that like follow the beeper. Everyone instead like wandering around.
They're all like pucks.
But this is where we see the Velociraptor dinosaur thing. So my opening thing was in reference to this dinosaur Velociraptor. How do you feel about this character? Because I thought it was kind of corny.
It felt like Star Wars to me.
It does?
Yeah.
A Velociraptor? It feels like Star Wars to you? A dinosaur?
It didn't bother me.
Really?
Yeah. It didn't bother me at all. I don't know.
It
felt like a Star Wars character.
It was very out of place. There was nothing alien about it. It was very just, is this a dinosaur?
It's probably already a species in the EU or something.
No. EU. I don't know. Maybe you should stay in the EU, because I didn't think it fit Star Wars at all.
Really?
Like, of all the crazy aliens and creatures that we see,
true, yeah,
this doesn't fit at all. Like, there was that one like tall, furry, long-legged thing. Like that's more Star Wars than this dinosaur thing.
Yeah, well, that one I think we see a glimpse of that one in Rogue One, the tall furry one.
No, that's a completely different
No, but
species.
we see another glimpse of it. Like it's not the one I'm talking. It's not the white one. It's a different one, but it's in the background of one of the scenes.
Oh, I don't know.
Like
But
I don't know, like the Velociraptor thing. It didn't like separate it because there's so many weird creatures in the cantina that it kind of felt like it could be like something like that in the background. We don't ever see the giant bug ant alien ever.
that's probably why, because they thought it was janky, and they're like, "Wait, we're not doing this again."
It didn't bother me.
But yep, so everyone's out there looking, and then Obi-Wan realizes he sees everyone's scanners pop up. He's like, "Okay, we gotta change clothes." And
Mm-hmm.
so
No, and this is when she found out that he's a Jedi, and then she's like, "Oh, make me float," and she like spun around in a circle.
no, I thought that was earlier.
No, it was just now.
Are you watching it?
Yeah, of course.
I thought when they
No, earlier
left
he was
the
just
drug
trying to
the lab, I
convince.
thought they took off like raincoats or something.
He took off his coat, but she took off her raincoat and then put on the green one. That was when they changed. But
Okay.
then
This
he
is
saw
this is another reason why I don't like this episode, because like I
it
said, it's so
all.
repetitive. Like I can't.
It
It's
kind
every
of
scene
blends
is the
all
same and
together.
all blends together. And I can't remember where everything
Yeah,
is. So
I mean that's fair. It's a chase scene episode. Like that's what it
and
is.
I thought it was kind of out of character for Leia to care about fashion, because she's like, oh, I want to try this one on. Like she wanted to like look
She
cute.
wanted the, but she wanted the no. She didn't want the cute stuff. She wanted the more rugged, like creature stuff, like the one that more of
Okay,
like
the one
their
that she
planet.
wanted was way more bedazzled
It
and
was, but it was also part of the culture of that planet.
no, it wasn't.
Yeah, because there's other kids later on throughout the episode that are wearing something similar to that. It seemed like she wanted something from that planet.
I don't know, because then she wanted like the gloves,
Yeah,
and I'm
she's a
like,
kid. She's a little
okay,
kid.
but okay. First of all, she's way smarter than you and I combined.
Which,
Like
I mean, you're
last
not
episode,
wrong.
she's like, Bale's like, in a couple years, you're gonna be going to university. She's gonna be 12 years old and going to college. Like,
Yeah, she's a beast,
I don't know.
but
I
she
just
still
don't.
has a kid heart. I don't. It didn't bother me at all.
I didn't picture her as someone who would want to like, oh, I want to try this one instead. Like, I thought she'd be more practical.
I
Like,
think
okay, we need a disguise.
I
Let's.
think they did it like that to show that she's innocent. And like this situation does not bother her because she knows that her dad's gonna send an army. In her mindset, her dad's sending an army to get her. So these situations doesn't bother her. She's just like there going with the flow, Like oh, that's how I viewed it. Like it seems like she's like, oh, whatever. Like, who are you? I don't even trust you. Like she didn't even really trust him. She's like, oh, I just want this. Oh, I'm just gonna take this like a kid would. A 10-year-old kid would do that. And later on, like when she gets to like the serious parts, she shows her smartness and how wise she is as a younger person. But she still has innocent parts. Like she still climbs a tree and stuff in the last episode. She still runs around. So like she's very smart, but she still has kid tendencies. So I don't know. She's still a girl. Girls like cool stuff.
Well, I'm
And
a boy and I like cool stuff. I just don't buy it. I just like, oh,
yeah,
that's cool, and I walk away.
yeah,
But so after this, the boy who brought Kenobi to Haja comes in. Hey, we had him. Look at this bounty. And then Haja's like, oh, how embarrassing. We'll be the first one to get him. So let's go get him.
yeah. Well, you missed the part where the Inquisitor found out the bounty was out there, and that's when the Inquisitor said, "Kill him."
Well, that's coming up. Right, my next thing on my notes. That the garrison, he's talking to the fifth brother, and then he says the garrison is on the way. So a garrison
Mm.
of stormtroopers. So like that's how we were saying like he has contact for off world. because he's contacted the Empire to send a garrison. I don't know.
Yeah.
The garrison 1,000 troopers or 100 troopers. I can't remember. Either way, it's a lot. And so,
that's a good question, Jeremiah, because at a certain point,
what?
Obi-Wan says to Leia that I told your dad you're okay.
Yeah, that's when they're hiding in the hallway, or the alley.
It's just kind of in plain sight. That was like
one thing. I'm like, that was like when she just before she figures it out that they led him there for a reason. Mm-hmm. So like, he just has a comma. Like I guess.
Yeah, but weren't they saying that you can't communicate outside?
But I think it's like we were saying earlier about how the Empire has technology that can bypass these low-level blockade, like signal blockers. Because he's a senator, so he probably has better.
He probably has better
comm links.
Once he starts becoming a rebel, he has ways to get around certain situations.
Yeah, and so he knew that they were going to Daiyu, so they probably knew that.
Him there essentially.
Right, so he knew probably he has his own intelligence to like know what the issues are on Daiyu, so like he probably knew how to break comms there.
It's just for me. It's like once. Oh, never mind.
What?
Well, I was gonna say once I found out that my daughter was there, why didn't I send people? But then the whole point is it's like he doesn't want people to know that she was captured.
Right. So then this is where the fifth brother is told to eliminate him if he gets a chance. Mm-hmm. And then I guess the seventh sister comes in with a mercenary that had the comm thing, and it's like, hey, this is what the issue is, and like Reva has sent us out. So now the Grand Inquisitor is even more angry that she's, and this is the first time. I didn't realize this the first episode, but the Grand Inquisitor has the yellow eyes, which I know he had it in Rebels, but I didn't notice that the first episode. But here,
really?
because it was daylight, I guess it was just more bright. So here it's dark, so it shows more. So
yeah.
But no one else has the yellow eyes. So we were talking about this in the Discord a couple weeks ago about like the significance of yellow eyes, and we're kind of like, it's not just dark force users, it's like the most deep dark force. Like the deeper you go, that's once you hit a certain level, then you get yellow eyes, I guess. So I guess to become the Grand Inquisitor, you got to have yellow eyes.
Yeah.
So yes, so then they're hiding in, Leia and Kenobi are hiding in the outback alley to let things cool down a little bit. And so when she sees, the comm link or the comm communicator, whatever, with Kenobi's face, she's like, oh, are you the bad guy? Are you the real kidnapper? Are you the real person that's the bad guy? And she's like, figures out that, oh, they kidnapped me so that you would come to rescue me so they could capture you. So like she figured that out. So she's super, again, she's super smart. And then she runs away. And then Kenobi's chasing her, blah, blah, blah. He kills a guy that grabs her when they recognize her, the girl. And so I was like, dang, already shooting people, killing people. And then there's the whole rooftop scene, which we saw from the trailers of him running, being on the rooftop, getting shot at. And so he's chasing after Leia to try and get her to stop. She's jumping.
When I was watching it was so funny with the chat. I'm like, dude, no one can catch this little girl. She can outrun anyone. And I'm like, maybe she is force running. Because even a Jedi couldn't catch, like, he could even keep up with her.
Yeah, I don't get that.
She's fast.
Like I can understand like through a crowd when there's so many people, like you can't just like run fast straight, because she was like going underneath like things and like running through the narrow passageway. So like I get that, but like when you're on the rooftop, like he should have just booked it and grabbed her. But yeah, so then while they're running on the rooftops, Mr. Dinosaur Man cuts him off and starts attacking. And so then Kenobi, he's hiding behind stuff, and then like some robot guy is another bounty hunter robot is shooting.
Which is the same bounty hunter, not the same bounty hunter, but the same droid from episode 5, the bounty hunter droid, the other one that we get.
Oh, is it the same one?
It's not the same one because it dies in this episode, but
it's the same, sorry, that's right.
Same kind.
Right. And so Leia's still running away, and then she gets to a larger gap between buildings, which
how did
doable.
This parkour scene, did it bother you?
When Reva is running?
Yeah.
It was fine. Like,
because it was like more 4C.
So like I like the one where she.
What bothered me was that Reva was like, it seemed like she was a lot closer, and then it took her forever to get to him. Like she's standing on the top of the other
still probably
building.
Like 300-400 feet away.
Yeah, but it takes her 3 minutes to get to that building that they were on. I don't know.
Well, Kenobi's still moving though. He's still like trying to move away. He didn't just stay in one spot. And so, and then she still had to like.
But he gets pinned down for like a good.
Well, it's still like not easy to go 400 feet like on top of buildings and going around things. Like it wasn't just a straight flat ground to run on.
Dude, when she knocks down that thing and then runs across and does a front flip and then lands within a back flip, it was so cool.
Well, the best thing is when she did the swung around the thing,
swung and then
jump off the building, and then because she had to go around, like
yeah,
I think
was cool.
I like to see more stuff like that, like I don't know how to describe it, like wise, smart jumping, like using your environment and
parkour.
Yeah, like hardcore parkour. So I don't know. I liked it. And then Leia thinks she can make the jump, and she doesn't come close. And so then at this point, Kenobi killed the dinosaur guy, which good, like had enough of him. But yeah, so then she's hanging from a cord, classic, hanging from a cord, and he's just like, don't let go. He's like panicking because like he knows he doesn't want to use the Force, but she ends up falling, and then for a second he doesn't even try to use the Force, and then he does, and you can tell it's him. Huh?
I thought he was trying the whole time. He just couldn't get it.
No, because he just said, hold on. Like,
oh, I'm saying once she fell.
Yeah, and then he screams no or whatever, and she's falling for like 2 seconds, and then you see him reach out.
Let me see.
And so, and you could tell it was a struggle.
Yeah.
For him to remember how to do that.
Because he like reaches out with like all his might, and he's like trying so hard. And like at this point, you know how far separated he has been from the Force, because he can't even catch a 80-pound girl, or probably less than that, probably like 60 pounds. So
I don't know. I think it's how it would be. I don't think it's like how far away it is. It's like he hasn't done it, so it's hard to do it again. But he ends up doing it, saves her life. Of course, like we're not worried about Leia at all.
we weren't really anyways.
So she survives.
It felt like I was watching Amazing Spider-Man for like 5 minutes, though. I was like, oh, break your neck on the way down.
Oh, dude, that scene is so sad.
I know.
Andrew Garfield's acting in that scene is like,
and then
he's one of the best of all time.
No Way Home, when he redeems himself. Oh,
don't start this crying fest here. So, but yeah, so then immediately, like Obi-Wan gets down to the alley, and she's like, at that moment, she finally trusts him because he proved that he's the Jedi, and then she trusts, like, whatever. And then so then they make their way to the transport station, and the Inquisitors are waiting there.
It's closed off.
And then he's like, this is when he kind of explains about who those Inquisitors like. And this is where he says many of them were Jedi. So not all, but many. So then, we talked about it last episode, was the third sister, the girl from the opening scene during Order 66. So the Grand Inquisitor does say that she was found in the gutter. She's from the gutter. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not the girl, but it kind of suggests that they just randomly found a Force-sensitive girl, like in the ghetto, like in some poor area or something. And so, do you still think she's the girl?
100% now.
Still think that?
Yeah, because for me, the reason why I definitely think that is because I was rewatching episode 1 today too, because my wife, like Steph, hasn't seen it, so I watched it with her, and every angle she was in, she was the center of all those kids the entire time, and I was thinking to myself, like, why would we get this scene again? Like this Order 66, like we don't. The whole trailer led us up to Anakin becoming Vader after that whole scene, and then we went backwards in a flashback. Well, it has to be her flashback. Right. Like, it doesn't make sense why we would see the Order 66 part at all. So yeah, she's definitely that youngling in that situation.
All right. I think, I don't know, I have a few doubts just because of that comment. These two comments that not all of them were a former Jedi, and that she was from the gutter. Like I said, it doesn't mean she wasn't, because if she fled and she's just living in the streets, then yeah, she was found in the gutter. But I don't know. I think there's a little doubt that that's the same person. But
I just don't know why we would see that scene then.
Because everyone loves a good Order 66 scene.
It's true.
Like I said,
Will's like real in the chat just for fun. LOL.
Yeah, for fun.
I mean,
I could watch Order 66 all day.
I did say that last episode. Like, I can watch younglings get killed all the time. But yeah.
But while they're in the alley talking about this, the robot bounty hunter comes.
Droid bounty hunter.
Droid, whatever. And then Haja shoots and kills him. Which, they're literally like 50 feet away from these Inquisitors, and they don't hear a blaster go off. Like, come on now.
Stop playing it, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of loud hustle and bustle. But yeah. I don't know. I thought it was like, dang, now the Inquisitors are gonna start chasing after him. But nope. So Haja comes and he's like, all right, I'm here to help. Like, I can get you off world. See that transport up there? Like, that's all automated. Like, here's a little like key card thing. Like, just go up there and it'll take you off world and it'll bring you to people waiting for you that can help you.
The key card, and then he gave him the directions.
Right.
The location directions.
And so then Obi-Wan's like, well, why should I trust you? And like, you have no other option. And Haja was very surprised that Obi-Wan remembered his name, which speaks to like the Jedi, like how they should care about people so much that they remember their names. Like, if you can remember someone's name, like that can mean like the world to someone. Like, if you just see him later on, like, oh, that's cool. They actually cared to remember my name. So, so then they leave, and
then we see the Grand Inquisitor.
Grand Inquisitor with a spinny blade. We finally get to see that scene, and he's threatening the main guy that kidnapped Leia, trying to get information. And he doesn't say anything, and then he gets killed, assumingly.
Well, we hear, ah!
Yeah, like, we hear that. Hear the scream, like, way early. Like, I felt like, where you get his toes cut off, and then...
Or other things connected to the lower half of his body.
Okay. This is... Okay. Anyway, and so then we go to the next alley scene when the third sister gets down to street level and Haja confronts her like, I'm the Jedi. I'm the only Jedi here. Like, his acting is just like,
so bad on purpose.
On purpose,
Which
but
is
like,
good, I guess.
I'm the only Jedi. Like, okay, if you say I'm the only Jedi here, there's another Jedi somewhere. But so last episode you said that the third sister is supposed to be a good mind reader.
Yep.
And probing people's minds. And so we see that here, where she just takes what she needs from his mind.
And she knew right away that he wasn't a Jedi, just by the way.
Yeah, because she could. So like, I wonder, like if you are force sensitive and you try to like look into someone, even if like you're not like good at mind probing, like I think like you can sense like their force sensibility. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she knew right away. And
I wonder if you can like when a calculator comes and it tells them the midichlorian count real quick, and then she realizes that he didn't have any.
Yep, definitely. I still think it went great in last episode when Obi-Wan, when he opened up the chest and he had like the comm thing when Bail was calling. Like if there was one of those Gillette razor things in there. I thought it was so funny if they had that just to have, just in case, so yeah, he could like measure Luke's count or something. But yes,
you know what you don't have to measure though, Jeremiah?
I'm sure you can tell me.
You don't have to measure the amount of caffeine you need for your body because you just crave it.
Really? It's like an addiction. Like it's like a spice addiction, huh?
It is. It's very close to a spice addiction, but we approve it.
If someone has a caffeine addiction, where can they go, Drew?
They can go to our sponsor.
And who is the sponsor?
Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea.
Oh, and I just so happen to have a little ad spot here. And so let's listen to a word from our sponsor, Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea.
Let's do it.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code EMPIRERADIO, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it. All right. So after the third sister mind probes Haja to get information on where Obi-Wan is, she leaves, and then it cuts to Kenobi and Leia up on the transport that they were sent to, and Leia just says, you know, we got kidnapped, we got bounty hunters, Inquisitor people, and all these people coming for us. If someone offers us help, we need to just take it, implying that she trusts Haja. And Kenobi
she
stopped.
Said, "Come on, let's go."
And then Kenobi stops and kind of admires her, like kind of like a little smirk. And she turns around, like, what? And he's like, just remind me of someone, and an old friend. And so now we know he's talking about her mother, actual mother, Padme. And she was a great leader and didn't want to say senator. Like, she's still trying to protect her identity.
And then she asked him, was she a Jedi?
Right. And he said, no, just a great leader. And so, and he's like, no, she died a long time ago. And then she, like, I'm sorry to hear that. So she was compassionate in that moment because she could tell that he was very sad about losing that friend. And then he's also knowing that it's her mother, actual mother. It makes it even sadder for him. So
Dude, it was so sad.
He's just admiring that trait of Padme passed on to
Did you
Leia.
get emotional on this at all? Dude, I cried.
It was very heartfelt. Like it was very like.
It was so good.
It wasn't like me holding stuff back during Order 66 last episode, like getting emotionally attached to that. But
dude, this is I literally like started tearing up. Like, because I can imagine like if you had a, it's probably different because I have a kid. But like for me, like I can imagine like if that was in my situation, I died and my kid was like having traits of me but not realizing it, but it's just because
like if you die and I hang out with Miles someday and I'm like,
and you're
oh,
like,
you remind me of someone.
Yeah.
then I'd probably start crying then.
True. I don't know. I just could feel that situation. I'm like, oh, it's so sad. And then someone on the interwebs was breaking this down and said, well, I don't actually think it was Padme. I think it was
Satine.
Yes. And I was like, you are just the
who said
dumbest.
That? Was that
Who do you think?
him? Really?
Yes.
Oh gosh. Why? That's stupid.
And it bothers me because so many people look up and like try to like view this person.
Did he just suggest it, or did he say like, no, this is what he was referring to?
He said he's like, people think it could be Satine, and I'm leaning more towards that. I'm like,
that is ridiculous. Why?
There's no way. This doesn't make any sense. Like, why would that be a thing? Like, it's so dumb.
Oh yeah, you have no qualities of your actual mother, but Obi-Wan's secret ex-girlfriend, lover, whatever.
Yeah, it's just like people are
whatever. That makes me mad. Like
it was dumb.
All right, it's another episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah. Whatever. Like that makes me mad. Whatever. It's definitely talking about Padme. Like
definitely 100%. So if you guys have anything against, like, I don't know, it's definitely Padme.
But yes. So as they are walking through the it kind of looks like a warehouse that's connected to like a landing pad or whatever. So they're walking through that, and then they hear the door open, and they quick hide, and it's the third sister found them because she read Haja's mind of where they're going. And so Obi-Wan gives her like the little key card thing. Like, hey, you go, I'll be right behind you. So when you hear that, like, I'll be right behind you, you're always worried because every time people do that, it's like they get separated and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But so Leia goes to the ship, walks in and finds the little key thing and plugs it in to power up the ship. And so the third sister is walking through, is like, Obi-Wan. Like, I was like, oh gosh, like she's trying to be all cocky and scary. So she's like walking around trying to like threaten, and it's like, I'm not gonna kill you, I'm just gonna take you to him. Lord Vader will be pleased or whatever. And then you cuts to him and he's like perks up and like has horror, and she's like, oh, you didn't know, or something like that. He's alive. Anakin Skywalker is alive. And so my question to you then is, do you like how Obi-Wan found out that Anakin is alive?
Okay, so there's like two parts. One, it doesn't make sense in canon that she would know Anakin was alive, that Vader's Anakin.
How?
Because in canon, if anyone, including people of the Empire, knew that Vader was Anakin, they were killed. There's only 4 people in canon that was allowed to know that. So like it kind of breaks canon.
This doesn't break canon. This is that she found out.
Yes, true. But it just the only thing is I don't think she told Vader that she knows. And I think this has a lot to do with her mind trick. Like she's able to read that was Anakin if she is ever when she interacted with Vader, she was able to read that
I could see that.
because of
Plus,
her
we know
force
that
powers.
she does a lot of research in the Jedi archives.
True, and
she
probably could have saw. That's true. That's a good point.
She
She
could have
might have
saw
the
puzzle pieces and came to that conclusion. And then if she's good at
or even
mind reading, like
mm-hmm.
she could have sensed that.
She probably saw the Order 66 happen. Like if she saw footage.
If that is the girl from the Order 66, she could have saw it. Yes, like
true. She kind of probably also saw Anakin.
Saw actual Anakin before he was in a suit.
Mm-hmm. When he was Vader but in Anakin's body, yeah.
And so I don't think so. I don't have a problem.
Yes, that kind of makes it maybe, and also Vader might not know, but yeah. So this bothered a lot of people though. Like this is how he found out was through her. It doesn't really bother me that much.
So it does bother me because my big thing I always say about storytelling is show, don't tell.
Mm-hmm.
And so like he was just told, oh yeah, he's alive. Like I would have had it rather been where he gets captured and is brought to the Inquisitor facility,
and he sees Vader,
and he interacts with Vader, and in that interaction somehow he learns, whether it's they fight each other and he knocks the helmet off and he sees Anakin's face, or if Vader straight tells him in person or something like that, like just being told, oh yeah, Lord Vader will be pleased to have you. He's been looking for you for a long time. And then he's just like, what? He's alive? Because like we know Obi-Wan knows Anakin's Sith name is Darth Vader because we see that in the hologram that he watches. So like, but like I don't know. It is what it is. I still liked his Ewan McGregor's acting there, where he was just so horrified and broken in that moment,
breathing so heavily and stuff.
Right, and so, while the third sister is threatening him and like pushing things over, the Grand Inquisitor comes in and starts. He's super pissed, and he's just, step aside. I'm gonna take him. I'm not gonna let you fail again. Blah blah blah. And she steps aside, and as he's about to, force push things away to find Kenobi sitting there, she stabs the Grand Inquisitor. So, the question is, was this Grand Inquisitor a decoy? And we all thought it was a decoy from Rebels. And everyone's all mad. It doesn't look like the Grand Inquisitor from Rebels, but it was actually a different Grand Inquisitor.
Ooh, that'd be a cool concept.
Because I think he's dead. I think he dies here, and the next Grand Inquisitor is appointed, and it's the one from Rebels.
So their species.
Yes, same species.
Has 2 stomachs.
Oh, gosh.
So the theory that's going around is that he was stabbed in one of his stomachs, and then he goes to Bantha take and gets healed, and he's fine.
Okay, that doesn't make sense at all.
Just saying. I mean, if this is a real Grand Inquisitor, we know he doesn't die.
Right, but I think he has to. I think they led us astray in this thing. Like the Grand Inquisitor, they was the same species.
Oh, so you think it's a fake
one? I think he dies here, and then the next Grand Inquisitor that is appointed is going to look a lot more similar to the one from Rebels, with a more longer face.
I think you're really hoping that's the truth.
Well, yeah, but I'm still saying that the guy has got stabbed and he's down. Like, I don't understand why
Vader or Maul got cut in half.
Yeah, and who got stabbed before Maul got cut in half? Qui-Gon, one through the stomach.
Yeah, but he doesn't have 2 stomachs.
You don't die if your stomach gets punctured. You die from other injuries that happen when you get stabbed or whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone
in the chat, he's definitely alive. Maul got cut in half. He's definitely alive. Yeah, he's not dead.
I'm really hoping this is a great prank troll, whatever, by Lucasfilm to make us think that it was the same guy, just so they could bring in the other Grand Inquisitor.
I hope she turns around and she walks, and then he kills her right away, and then that's the end of her story. But we see the thing is, I'm pretty sure we see her later because we see her at the Inquisitor.
Right.
The Inquisitorium.
So
But
I
I don't
think-
know if we see the Grand Inquisitor there.
I think when she returns, so in the trailers, she's getting shot at
Mm-hmm.
and being attacked. I think when she returns, like she's now an enemy of the Empire because she.
Yeah.
So I think that if he survives, they'd be more merciful to her. But if she died, now they're gonna try and kill her.
I think either way, she's not on anyone's good side anymore.
Right. And so I'm just hoping that he's dead. I think that'd be such a great thing for them to do, Lucasfilm to do to us,
To
especially
make
like
us think it's the Grand Inquisitor that we're used to, but it's a different one.
I'm saying the next Grand Inquisitor is the one from Rebels.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's not a name. It's not a name. It's a title. So anyone can be the Grand Inquisitor.
True.
So I don't know. I'm hopeful. But anyway, Kenobi runs. He gets on the transport and is flying away, and then Reva, third sister, is just yelling, "Well, we're gonna find you. You're not gonna da da da." And so then it goes to the ship leaving out in space, and Kenobi's having a moment of shock and horror still, and he close up on his face, and he just says, "Anakin," and then it lingers for a second, like, okay, it's gonna go to credits, and then it cuts to Vader in the back to tank with his eyes opening up.
His eyes are yellow.
And so, do you think that him waking up, and that I guess waking up, but he's probably that's normally with his eyes closed. But do you think when Obi-Wan says Anakin, Anakin senses Obi-Wan for the first time
No.
in 10 years?
No.
No?
Well, maybe.
I don't know. I think
I think we're getting a lot of Vader next episode.
No, we're not getting any. I told you, we're not gonna get to episode
4.
4.
I'm telling you right now, the next episode is gonna be Vader.
Mostly. You want to bet another quarter?
I found a quarter on my desk. I'm down.
All right, now we're betting up to what was the first?
50 cents.
What was the first bet?
A quarter.
No.
Oh, like, what was it?
I don't even remember. Chat. What was the first bet? I don't remember. But yeah. So
I don't remember. What was the first bet about? Either way, you probably owe me a quarter.
Okay, whatever. Well, then I'm definitely gonna win this one because we're not gonna see Vader till episode 4 in his suit.
So you're saying that we're not gonna see him at all next episode?
If we see him, it's literally gonna be like this episode, where it's like the last 2 seconds he walks into a room. But I don't know. That's the end of the episode.
I think it would be so dumb if we get 2 last scenes of Vader though. Don't you?
I don't know. I know in Clone Wars, was at the end of season 3, we get hinted at Maul is alive, and then end of season 4, like the last episode, we see Maul, and then season 5 is when we see Maul like actually doing stuff. So
that's fair.
I don't
want that.
The show is a Kenobi show. It's not a Vader show. So like they have to do minimal Vader until they're together. So I don't know. So next episode, I think, they're gonna land on whatever planet they're going to, and Haja's people are there waiting, and so we're gonna see this who these people are. I don't know. Like it's gonna be more.
Do you think it's anyone that we recognize?
Probably not. If it is, it's gonna be Hondo.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It'd be so cool if we got Hondo, but I think it's gonna be all new people. It's just gonna be some random crime.
Dude, that'd be sick if it's Hondo.
Crime.
That'd be amazing.
Well, because Hondo and Kenobi had a close friendship in
That's what I mean.
Clone Wars to help. That'd be it would work.
So my thing is like now that the third sister kidnapped Leia and it worked, what makes them not just go kidnap Leia all the time?
Well, they can't do it more than once. She's gonna be
Why?
under. It's not gonna let her roam free.
I mean, true.
They're gonna put some microchips in her to track her. They're gonna.
I'm just surprised like the Empire wouldn't just keep doing that. But I think it's because the third sister kind of messed up that whole situation by killing her boss.
Plus, they don't, and she's the only one that knows that connection between Bail and Kenobi.
No, she told the Grand Inquisitor. That's what she
I know.
did.
That's why they're not gonna just keep doing it, because she's the only one that knows, and then the Grand Inquisitor's dead. No, hopefully.
He's not.
So then no one knows except for her. Because the
Wait.
fifth brother and the other person were further back in that conversation. So
Do you want to bet another quarter on that part?
what?
That's the Grand Inquisitor's alive.
He's
75 cents in total.
I don't need to bet. I already know. I don't want to take your money.
I think you don't want to lose your money.
I have more money than you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, no, I'm saying you don't want to lose this quarter.
I don't know. I'm fairly confident he's dead. He has to be dead. It would be the best thing Disney could do for this show to troll us and also bring in a character we know, the actual Grand Inquisitor, that looks more realistic. Because like it'd be really cool if they brought in, I can't remember the guy's name, who's the voice actor for the Grand Inquisitor. It slipped in my mind.
Bro, from what I know, they have not brought in any of the same from the Rebels or Clone Wars besides Hera. Is like the only one that they made an actual actor. And I just think maybe it's because they just know that they're not good actors, but they're better voice actors. I don't know. But like Ashley said at ICCC that she was never even offered the live action role. Which doesn't really make sense.
The voiceover for the Grand Inquisitor is like a big name actor, though. Like it's not just some random things. Like he could definitely take in a big.
Yeah, he could probably do it.
A much bigger actor than whoever this random.
It's just so weird that like they just didn't even think to ask Ashley at all.
Well, she's not. She's just a voice actor. She's not an actual.
She was an actor first.
I know she's done live act like real stuff, but like she can't. She doesn't do that. Like it's just not her thing.
Oh, she wants it to be a thing. She just never gets hired for that.
You don't know.
Like she said that. She said that in the panel.
What, that she felt like she got gypped?
No, that she's just like, someone asked like, were you ever offered the live action role? And she said, no, I wish I would have been. But I was never offered it.
Right, but she's not.
It's the same thing.
Okay,
and she acted in a bunch of other shows.
Okay, but she doesn't normally do that though. And then do you want her to come in and be an action star?
Well, she could have done it.
No,
I mean, she's a little older, so maybe that's why.
One, she's super short, so there's no way that would work.
Snips is short though.
No, Ahsoka is tall. They needed Rosario Dawson for her height too, and her face looks like Ahsoka. And like even like her, like Ahsoka has those big lips. Rosario Dawson has the big lips. Like they didn't have to change her lips.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, and it's also she's so much older. Like the live action Ahsoka is so much older. Like you need someone who's just an older voice, like different voice. Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about this, but
I don't know. Well, no, we're talking about it because I was saying that they haven't tend to ask the Clone Wars actors to actually do live action.
Oh, because they haven't had those characters in other mediums. Like, so there's no reason to ask them because they've never had an option.
Yeah. I guess.
So do you have any final predictions?
So I think for next week, we're going to for sure get that interaction with the third sister, like we were saying earlier. Like, it seemed like the clones were shooting at her and she was blocking them from the trailer. So I think we're gonna get that, and I think behind that is potentially gonna be Vader, and I think Vader is gonna walk up to her and chop her down, and I think that's gonna be her demise. And
next episode, she's gonna get killed.
I mean, we're halfway through the show, so yeah.
Dang, bro. She's gonna get cut in half halfway through.
I don't know. If not, I mean, maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Either way, we're seeing she's not going to survive this show because we don't ever see her again. So,
right.
So yeah, I think, and then I think we're gonna see Obi-Wan with those people, and it would be cool though. Now that you said that, to see Hondo. Hondo would be dope. So that'd be sick.
Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah. What about you?
Just what I was saying. I think that a lot of it's going to be on that other planet with whoever Haja sent them to, and then we'll get stuff on the Inquisitor facility. But I don't know. I think we'll find out if the Grand Inquisitor is dead or alive next episode. But who knows? Yes. We'll figure it out. We're less than a week away, so that's great. 3 episodes in like 5 days time, which is great.
Still, Friday's not coming fast enough.
Right.
I can't, or Wednesday, I mean.
Right.
It's not Friday, it's Wednesday.
All right, so we might as well just quick go through social media stuff, and then we can get out of here and take a little break, and we'll come back with Andor stuff. Sure. So if you are new to the podcast, or if you're a veteran but you still haven't checked out our social media, go to links.co/Empire Radio, links with 2 I's. That's a landing page for everything for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Did I say Discord already? Discord. And then also
Twitch.
A link. Which, what?
To Twitch.
Oh, the Twitch. Sorry, I said it's a witch. Twitch, where we do the live streams for every episode. We do that going live. And so you can watch us there. And then also there's a link for the needlesslynerdy.com podcast network that we are a part of. And so you can definitely check that out. And that's about it. Join the Discord. A lot of fun.
Yes.
And if you follow us on Discord, you get, notifications of like when we're going live in a half hour or whatever. We got some fun stuff on there and all kinds of great community there.
Yes. Will in the chat said, join the Discord, guys. It's a fun time in there. He typed that and sent it before you said that. Oh. So Jeremiah wasn't reading it, but it was pretty spot on. So
it's almost like it's almost like he's gonna be appointed as a mod on Twitch soon.
Or it's almost like he has Force abilities.
Oh, he's
like
Taja. He can Jedi mind trick.
He's a new third sister. He's a third.
Will, you're the third sister.
Will, change your name in the Discord to the third sister.
But also in that link page, there is a link to send in a voicemail. So if you're new, every episode we do a voicemail section where fans can send in voicemails with comments or questions, and we play them. And so we do them every episode, but because of this weekend, there's so many episodes that we're doing. We're just gonna say once a week. So we had voicemails for episode 1, and then we're gonna do all this other stuff with no voicemails. But then on episode 3. We'll bring back voicemails. So we've been doing
send them in.
We do voicemails every episode, and we've done that for the past almost a year and a half, a little over a year, close to a year and a half. So it's always a fun to interact with our fans and hear from them. Just questions and random. It doesn't have to be Star Wars. It can be anything. If you want to know, I don't know, our favorite Pop-Tart flavor or something like that,
or our shoe size,
and stuff. This is a family-friendly thing, so make sure your voicemails are family-friendly.
Correct.
Family-friendly. Keep it PG. But we love to hear from anyone. And if you're outside the United States, we love hearing our foreign fans too, our international audience. But
sure.
I think that's about it. Drew, anything else?
Nope. Like you said, just go check out those links. And if you guys are listening only, there's also a video version of this podcast too on YouTube and also on Twitch. But YouTube, Jeremiah works hard on those videos, and there's a lot of
there's
other content
a lot
on
of
YouTube as well.
content, and I'm struggling to get out. I'm doing this for the fans, get all this stuff out this weekend.
Yeah.
So be patient with the YouTube videos, because those take the longest to
There's
upload.
reaction videos over there as well, and also like toy stuff and hunts and vlogs. So go check out the YouTube if you guys want more content from us. So
yeah. All right, cool. Well, you've been listening to another Kenobi-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.